Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantals, and okay, a few things to do. First, I'm just going to start off with the most important thing at this point in time. I am aware of the situation going on in Israel and the Middle East. Okay, I am very much aware of it, and I know it's confusing. Believe me, it took me a while to understand what's going on there myself. The problem is that, as much as I would like to make a video explaining exactly what's going on, if any of you have been on Twitter lately, you may have seen that it's a bit of a sensitive thing, especially that there's some people on Twitter quite aggressive concerning this matter. For instance, as for people adding the title "The Great" onto the end of the name of a certain moustache man from World War II, and you probably know who that is. You know, there's people calling for genocide as well, and they're calling for the destruction of Israel or Palestine, for whatever the hell he looks, whatever. The point is, it's a bit of a. I really hope you can't hear all the loud noise from outside. The problem is that the situation in the Middle East right now, the internet's it's quite divided in this, but also not just divided, but aggressively divided as well. And whilst I try not to think of myself as aggressive on this, not a lot of people do the same. So if I did make a video concerning the events in the Middle East, my concern is that I would end up bringing in a very big mob of people who would disagree with me, and they would, other than just like my videos down to the earth, or down to hell or whatever. But yeah, I've noticed there seems to be a serial dislike among my videos. I don't know why. So it's just going through my videos, just liking them. It's weird. But the point is, I'm not trying to attract a swarm of very aggressive people who are going to be cursing and insulting and calling for genocide and display anti-Semitic behavior, anti-Palestinian behavior, whatever. I don't want that to come here and then start interfering with you guys, because if I end up having to if I have to if I have to basically hide how many people like this video, how many people dislike my videos, and how many people and turn off commenting on my videos, then I'm not sure if that's going to end up deleting all of your comments over the years of support for me, and I really don't want to do that. So if I was going to make a video about the situation in the East, I have to be careful with how I do it. Definitely not in this video here, because I'm clearly making a reference to it. So also because I'm still compiling the things I need for that. I mean, if I didn't make a video on what's going on in the Middle East, I wouldn't be able to show much content for it, especially concerning the videos, because I do fear that YouTube will probably block and remove all the videos that do show such content. It wouldn't be the first time. So it's a bit of a sticky situation here. If I was going to do a video concerning the Middle East, it definitely wouldn't be this one making such an obvious reference to it. Especially on the title, a distant war. People are just looking at this video and wonder, okay, look at the release date, you can only be talking about one thing. Ultimately, I just asked that we please pray for an end to the situation in the Middle East, because on my devices, I've installed an app that basically sounds an alarm. It's the same app that they use in Israel for when missiles are being launched. Sometimes there are periods of a couple of hours in which nothing fires, and then at other times there are periods in which for several minutes it's a constant stream of sirens, which does make me. It makes me upset that regardless of what side, there are airstrikes going on and people are dying in this area. But I'm not going to focus too much on that in this video, because I'm not trying to cause an argument or whatever. But if you do hear an alarm going off in the middle of this video, I'm not saying that I necessarily will. I mean, it was quite bad, a couple of minutes of voice after recording this. If you do hear an alarm going off, then it's one of my nearby devices just triggering that. And then what else? Yeah, the progress concerning the progress against the Easter Lightning cult, especially on Facebook. I'm a member of over 30 groups now. Okay, over 30 groups, and in all of them, whenever I've seen the Easter Lightning cult stuff, I've usually gone and reported all the posts. I've gone and reported the person. I've also given a list of all the websites stuff and links that they use. I post that there to try and alert the admins. But I've also gone in direct touch with moderators and admins, saying, look, can you please, if I report all these people who are from this cult, can you please remove them? And it's worked to some success. I mean, a lot of groups now have been completely cleaned of Easter Lightning cult members, and we're going through the posts to remove them. I'm still getting in contact from a bunch of admins who's saying, "Oh wow, we didn't realize that there were these cult members here. Can you please help us get rid of them?" Like, sure thing. Firstly, we just remove the members, and we start moving through the groups. But we probably removed maybe a couple hundred members of the cult from all the groups overall, and several hundred posts, which is quite something. Because I'm not saying, sorry, that's not the alarm going off again, is it? No, okay. Yeah, okay, anyway. I'm not necessarily saying that everyone in the groups, they're not in any of the other groups. I know that there are other people like me in multiple groups, but combining all of the groups I'm in together, you probably have maybe a couple million people in them. And if I can stop this radical cult going around trying to seduce people in with their really fancy images and stuff, and all their wonder massive links or happy talk or whatever, if I can stop them being influenced by that, by removing by getting into a mass expulsion of all these cult members from the groups and the deleting of all their posts on those groups, then the job's well done. Because obviously it's not like it's like a crusade in China and then go and sort out that cult, because obviously there are worse things going on in China. Please pray for the Chinese Christians and all the other religious groups being persecuted there, especially the Uyghurs. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce them, their name, but you know, the Muslims who are being persecuted there. Part of the genocide program, part of the brainwashing and sterilization program that no one's getting involved in. But maybe ultimately, social media is they're using social media to their advantage to try and bring people into their cult, which is why we need to if we're going to actually stop this cult growing, the author's cult anyway. Not only will we first have to stop them spreading, it's growing. Okay, and then when we cap them, then we can actually deal with the situation in China and all the other places where we actually try and reconvert the people away from the cult, or at least stop them in a way. Like, I'm not saying that we discriminate against them, but you know, make people aware, be careful from this cult of people. If creatures from this cult come forward, then you keep away from them to the point that they end up becoming almost like an isolated community that just gradually either dissipates or dies off, whatever. So there is progress being made on the Eastern Lightning cult front. It's slow. I'm still waiting for some admins to respond, but we're getting there. I am considering making a video in which I will basically point out how to identify these East Lightning cult members on social media sites, particularly in Facebook, where they're quite dominant. Can you hear that train and plane at the same time? I mean, I have sometimes when there are vehicles going on, I usually like apologize in these videos, so like, oh, sorry if you can hear that, but for some reason you don't even hear it at all, so I don't know. Okay, so I don't understand why my phone just keeps doing the bright thing. I just turn my head and it dims, like it's weird. But okay, university coursework wise, I've almost finished a module now. Okay, one of my modules. Don't worry, this is not the first module I've finished, okay? I finished a couple before, but if I finish this, I aim to finish the current module by the end of this week. And if I do that, then out of the really the 7 major pieces of coursework I need to do, I'll have completed 4. And then after this is my preparation for my dissertation, and then a couple of other things I need to work on. So hopefully by the within a month, hopefully I'll have finished everything by then, and just back to normal very scheduled stuff. So we were making progress when it comes to university-wise as well. Please pray for all the university students out there and all the people who are doing exams, and may be able to do well as well, because it can be quite hard when it comes to studying and stuff and learning things and doing exams in these conditions, because either you have like plenty of time to do work, it's more than likely you won't get as much done because you don't have the right environment, you know, you're too busy like on social media or whatever. I mean, admittedly, I've probably at the start I probably spent too much time on social media, but I've cut that out now. I'm getting better at managing myself. I'm able to actually get work done, which is good. That seems to be it really at this point in time. So we're almost halfway through our exam. Almost halfway through my exams. I can get back to things normally in a month or so, maybe a little bit longer. Concerning the situation in the Middle East, I will cover that at some time, but definitely not here, not now, because the last thing I want to do is attract a very toxic crowd here. Okay, that's the last thing I want to do. And I'm also trying to focus on my exams again. I'm not going to really start working on the thing of my video in the same release until I finish my exams. I've got to get that out the way first. priorities. And I'll also make a video concerning how to identify Eastern Lightning Cult members on social media, so you guys can be aware of it. I mean, one of the things I do want to do is, because a lot of the accounts, when it comes to the Eastern Lightning Cult social media, a lot of them are fake accounts. They just spam stuff. Well, something I did want to do was actually give a list of these accounts, and so maybe like every episode or whatever, I'll release the names of 200 accounts or something. Not that necessarily every one of those names is an Eastern Lightning Cult member, but again, you don't have to watch my video on how to identify Eastern Lightning Cult members, so that you can say, okay, this is just a person who has the same name, or okay, this is definitely one of the Eastern Lightning Cult members. But obviously, this isn't just a Catholic problem. It's a Protestant problem as well. It's just a problem for all Christian denominations, because oddly enough, I actually looked up at the handbook, which says that they're not meant to target Catholics and certain like really firm old denominations and religions and stuff, but they apparently target Chinese Christians quite strongly. So just for any like you Protestants out there being really like this video, you don't have to agree with me on theology, okay? You don't have to, but you need to be aware that there is a cult out there that's mostly after you guys, okay? You need to be careful. I'll make a video concerning how to identify these cult members and give lists of names of these fake accounts so you can remove them from your group, okay? Believe me, it's not worth it. They're very good in how they manipulate people and how they try and guilt you into staying in that cult. Okay, the last thing, you don't want cults in your group, okay? Let's just put aside the 400 years of difference between us and work together on actually dealing with the more radical cults that seek to convert us through seduction and violence, okay? But that's it pretty much for this video. So if you like this video, please give a like, please share my videos, please comment what you think of the video I'm to do. Please subscribe to my channel so you can see more content, please do anything else, keep that for me, video releases. Next episode, I'm not sure, probably another exam, progress made, whatever, maybe further progress with East Lightning Cult. I'm not sure if this is going to make this my situation released. The video is going to be ready by that point in time. Hopefully things will improve. Hopefully things will improve by the Middle East. Okay, regardless of what side you support, just please pray that it ends, because people are dying. Innocent people are dying. Children are dying, and regardless of what side you are, a death on any side, okay, especially of innocence, is a tragedy. But just keep praying, guys. Hopefully this thing will be sorted, and the world will gradually become a better place. I mean, don't lose hope, guys. Okay, don't lose hope. Anyways, see you next video, comrades. Until then.